Hello, how you doing, YouTube people? So nice to see you back at James Mandolare's YouTube channel again, clicking on my video. This is the next in a series of videos where we play Sid Meier's Civilization 6, The Gathering Storm by Firaxis Games as Rome. And our leader is the ancestor of the great Gaius Julius Caesar, dictator of Rome, who crossed the Rubicon with his 13th Legion and marched on Rome. It was against the law to do so, but the Roman Senate wanted to divest Caesar of his faithful legions because Caesar pretty much single-handedly and without Roman authority took over Gaul with his legions. Great successful campaign, and he also courted the popular view of the people. He would buy their loyalty by paying their rents for a year, so they wouldn't have to pay rent. Everybody in Rome, all the poor people in Rome, would get their rents paid by Caesar himself, or he would buy with his own money grain shipments so that people had enough to eat. He was a real populist. And he played the Republican game where he said that, he didn't want to be a king and he just wanted to restore the Republic to the founders the way it was. And they held elections, but the elections were all rigged. The opposition to Caesar were straw men set up by Caesar, and there was no way he could ever lose. So he played a good game of being a populist and, into democratic principles. But he was an autocrat and a wealthy man from one of the richest and wealthiest and most powerful families of many powerful families in Rome. But he did want to make some reforms. He wanted to make sure that more free people could get jobs instead of all the slaves taking all the jobs. He wanted to bring in some of the people from the provinces away from Italy, where Rome had conquered and Rome had settled, and bring them in and let them have some representation in the Senate. And the aristocracy did not like that. It was kind of like Franklin Delano Roosevelt was in this country. Julius Caesar wanted to make some changes, and there are probably more parallels with John F. Kennedy's assassination and Caesar's assassination, because they both were rich men who wanted to do something to help the lower classes when the lower classes desperately needed help. And, of course, as the aristocracy always does, they wanted it all for themselves. So they got rid of him. He was surrounded by powerful enemies that he thought were his friends, because Caesar had given clemency to all the people that rebelled against him or even fought against him in wars against him. Brutus, for instance, Cassius, they were all forgiven by Caesar and then ended up stabbing him in the back anyway. When wasteful war shall statues overturn, and broils root out the work of masonry. William Shakespeare. Now, Shakespeare is another interesting character from history, along the same lines as some of these other mythical characters we've been talking about, who appear to us to be historical people but are actually historical fiction, like Shakespeare. Ancient walls. Excellent. The pyramids. Oh, wouldn't that be nice if we could get the pyramids? But you have to have desert. We have no desert in Italy. Sorry. This is the Mediterranean true start location map. We have what is actually there. No desert in Europe. Now, battering rams good for knocking down walls if they should get walls, and they may. Stone is good, and we can harvest stone, so that's good. William Shakespeare, some say there was a committee of noblemen who wrote the Shakespeare play. Learned men like Edward de Vere, Lord Edward de Vere, Francis Bacon, Christopher Marlowe, and others, Elizabethan poets and playwrights and statesmen, and they had to have a fictitious front man. William Shakespeare was into the theater. He was a patron of the arts. but he was not a great playwright, according to this theory. Now, me, what do I know? I don't know. I like theories. I take them with a grain of salt. I don't necessarily believe them, but I do enjoy them, nonetheless. I don't think there's anything wrong with that, and they may be true. Who knows? You know, it's a long time ago, 500 years ago, or whatever, 600 years ago. But there's a lot of evidence, you know, and there are a lot of questions, because Shakespeare was a grain merchant from Stratford-on-Avon who never left his little village except to go to London to be in part of the theater groups there. But they say that, you know, it was done by committee, because there's just too much information in there. I mean, how did Shakespeare know about law? He writes about law all the time. And how did Shakespeare know about, you know, Italy? He knows all about Italy and the geography of Italy and the towns there. I mean, how did he know that? Well, some say there was a very special woman, and I should again look up her name. And she was from Hebrew descent. She was a Jew from Italy, from a prosperous family, and she is one of the first women who was ever, her poetry and books were published in England. She did an etiquette book and some poetry. First woman published in English. Horseback riding. They say that she was part of this committee that wrote the Shakespeare plays. Also, there's no manuscripts, original manuscripts. Also, Shakespeare didn't have a library. He didn't own one book. So, there's a lot of questions, as there always are. Horseback riding, currency, sailing in 3, wheel in 4. We got to pick up the wheel, then we'll pick up sailing. We'll get these quick turns done, and then we'll have that technology, and that'll be good. Hey, there's some iron up there. I don't know how close we can settle up here, or how far up here we want to settle. Kind of far afield, really, but that scout is just meant to check out the map and find out where the Gauls are so we can attack them later. Okay, I don't think we missed any goody huts, did we? We got them all so far. Tribal villages are called goody huts. In any of these blank places, there could be one hiding, and they could have a relic in there, which is one of the best things you could get. It's like a holy relic, and they're really cool. They're like sacred scrolls or parchments or a helmet of the Saint Cuthbert and stuff. I don't know. It's just cool stuff. Like, you know, in the Middle Ages, they had pilgrims, right? They would go on these pilgrimages. Let others say what they will, but the real flourishing of classical era culture began with the discovery of political philosophy by Rome. All right, we've discovered political philosophy. We have unlocked the government, and now that we can see we have 3 choices. These governments are yet to be revealed, but the ones that are lighted up here in blue, Classical Republic gives you 15% great person points. We have Divine Spark, and great person points would really help. And one amenity and housing in the city would be great. With oligarchy, we could let the Owls of Minerva rule us, the rich people. And then we would have 2 military policies. And that would mean that all our military would get +4 combat strength. That's great. And 20% more unit experience toward promotions, which would be great. So I want both of those. I can only pick one. But autocracy, come on. I'm Lord Julius, dictator of Rome. Autocracy is a dictatorship where an autocrat, right, automatically rules. +1 to all yields for each government plaza building, diplomatic quarter building. We haven't even made those districts yet, but we will. So we must, and we shall. But most importantly, because of our religion, this is a religious thing with us, 10% production toward wonders. We got to get it. We're getting it. Wonders is what it's all about. From wonder into wonder, our game will rocket toward victory, shall I say. The people of Rome adopt a government of autocracy, the great synthesis of their political philosophy. +3 error score. You know what that might mean? That's how you can get error score. You can finally get the political philosophy. Did I plan that? I wish I could say I did. Diplomatic League. The first envoy you send to each city-state counts as 2 envoys. We're going to be exploring, finding new city-states for sure. We got a scout out there. Charismatic Leader, +2 influence points per turn toward earning city-state envoys. That includes the city-states we've already found. And I think I'm going to put it, I don't usually do Diplomatic League, but I'm going to put it in because that scout's out scouting around and we might find some city-states that'll give us a little edge. That's what we're looking for, right? And now we got great scientist points to get toward our inevitable and primal victory. We got wonders going, we got settlers, we got the barbarian card in to fight barbarians. We may soon switch that out again to this 50% card or this unit maintenance card, but we're doing all right with money, so maybe we'll go with, I know it's here somewhere. Well, maybe we haven't gotten it yet. We must have. No? Naval units. Ranged units. Okay. All right. We're going to go back to the game. Policy set. Great scientist points, +2, plus our Divine Spark Pantheon. That's +1, so now it's +3. We might start getting some great people. That wouldn't be so bad. Now this volcano here is good because every time it goes up, the lovely flute playing. Every time it goes off, it will enhance all the tiles that it is adjacent to, just like Vesuvius does. And we want to settle that immediately. And we will, because it's expansive, right? I'm not settling my cities close to each other. And that is not advisable, because if you settle them close to each other, they can do adjacency. Their districts will enhance your districts in both cities. So I will fill in the gaps between these cities as soon as I can. 1, by taking over these city-states, and 2, by settling cities in between eventually when I have the luxury to do that. But right now I'm claiming as much land as I possibly can. That's the deal here. You dig? Cats, you cats dig where I'm coming from here? Military tradition 3, let's catch it up. What's the boost on that? Disperse the barbarian clan. You know, we're just about to do that. That's great. We'll do that. We'll get the boost. Yeah, we're going to keep this guy sort of patrolling this river, keeping an eye. Now they got an archer down there. I think they might be anticipating trouble. We'll cross the river and stay on the coast. That's a good way to define the area. Of course, I know we're headed for Spain down there because I know the European map at least that much. Now, this is kind of funky. I got barbarians everywhere right next to my settler. It's kind of dumb. I knew this was going to happen because we raided the camp. There you go. Now we're good. Still got this guy, but he doesn't really matter. Get him easily enough. Check you later, scout. And it doesn't get him, it almost gets him. Nope, it gets him. Good. Alright, there's only one more thing to do. And that is to get that camp. Alright, that iron looks good. I think I'm just going to use this guy as a military spy. Just go back and look at the Gauls, where the Gauls are, where their capital city is, where their cities are, where their settlers are. They probably have settlers. The empire of the seas brings you spices from the Indies, silks from China, and gold from Africa, and a little bacalao from home. Your delegation is most welcome. It's very kind of you, my friend. Thank you so much. In fact, it is so very kind and so very generous of you. Perhaps you have some Roman blood in your family? You do resemble us, rather. You're very short and stout and dark, like us. But I have theories about the Mediterranean basin being rather a bit of a mixture of peoples from those various regions that border our sea. But that's just a theory. But your delegation is most welcome. Excellent. Excellent. Happy. Keep you in a happy mood. For we wish to keep your suspicions at bay. And if you grab this goody hunt with that nasty little scout of yours, I'll be quite upset. I don't believe you can. You'd have to cross the river. That takes a turn, so I think we're all right. Okay, we're coming back toward the Bribrax. Checking out Bribrax. We knew it was there before, but we're going to check out Bribrax. Okay, we're going to walk up to Venice. Might as well see what they're up to up there. Okay, we have the settler. I'm going to move the warrior off that spot. And that's where I'm going to settle right there. I'm going to disperse the camp so I can boost military tradition and get it in one turn instead of a bunch. Hey, there's an added boost for celestial navigation. Alright, now we paid the price. We don't have military units we can get anymore, and we don't have money we can get anymore from that barbarian camp. But we can settle this once and for all. And we will next turn. These barbarians have been a nuisance to us all. Thank you for your help. Well, it's very courteous of you, my friend. I see that the influence from the south is obviously wearing off on you. You are beginning to comport yourself with a modicum of dignity, and it's good to see. If only you would take up the toga. Seriously. Seriously. I don't think he's going to do it. He's not going to take up the toga. Alright, military tradition. We boosted it. Bravery is being the only one who knows you're afraid. Colonel David Hackworth. Oh, thank you, Colonel. Sir. Alright. Now, 50%, that's the one I was looking for before. We hadn't even gotten it yet. 50% production toward ancient and classical era heavy and light cavalry units. I am going to get that policy and pound her in there. See this little exclamation point makes it easy to find. Yes, we'll lose 5 points toward barbarians, but we just cleared the barbarians and we don't have any barbarians to worry about right now. If we have them later, change back. It's all good. Now, we got how many? 6 turns. Why? We synergized, right? We have a card in our government that gives us some 30% or something off ancient classical wonders. We have autocracy, which gives us another 30% off wonders. We got Magnus in the city, so that when we chopped the woods, it gave us turns off the wonders. And that's how you win, because your human mind can synergize many different parts of what I call the different chess games. You know, one chess game is your government, when the other chess game is settling cities, and the other chess game is, you know, gold. Science is another chess game. Culture is another one. Diplo favor is one. In fact, there's, you know, all these win conditions are each a game, right? You got to play the science game to get the science victory, the culture game to get the culture victory. It's different than the science game. Domination victory, you have to play the military game. I'm doing pretty well, right? I'm second in domination. I'm leading the culture and science victory so far. But remember, I'm on quite a easy difficulty, so I'm leading the religious victory and I'm leading the diplomatic victory. But this is just to kind of have fun and go quickly through a good game. If you want to play a more challenging game, of course, you'll play at a higher difficulty. But these are the different ways you can win. If you want to play 500 games, if you go 500 games and you don't win and nobody else wins, you might win the score victory if you got more than everybody else. And of course I do, because again, we're at an easy victory and I know how to play a game enough to be able to win it at this level of difficulty pretty easily. Here's the science. All the things you have to do are each one of those little dots are a category of things you have to do to win the science victory. It takes a while to get it all done, but it's fun. Culture victory, where you do wonders, can get you a culture victory. Make theater squares, amphitheaters, and generate points for great works and artwork, and that's really a really fun part of the game too. I don't play it enough because I like the science victory so much. But this is a fun victory. You make national parks so that people come, and the idea is to get tourists to come to your country by making all these great things that bring in tourists, seaside resorts, and it's really fun. They have a whole side of the game that is all about that. And, of course, in any other victory, you can still need culture to get through the culture tree, so you can use some of those things to give yourself a little extra culture so that you can get a science victory. They can play off each other, is all I'm saying. Domination victory is the one we're using to play off science in this game because we want to be Rome with a great military. Religion, I've never done a religious victory. And my bar is over this one. Can I get it? Yeah, I don't want to shut the thing off. Diplomatic victory is fun. I've had a few of these. You earn diplomatic points by building certain wonders. That's one way to do it. Certain temples and wonders that you can build. Statue of Liberty, Mahabodhi Temple, Potato Palace, and they'll give you victory points. If you'll see that we have interactions with other civilizations in the World Congress and in other things that come up through the World Congress, like the Nobel Peace Prize and the Olympics and things like that. And if you win those, military things happen too, military emergencies and aid requests. And they have a whole side of the game that if you concentrate on that, you can win the diplomatic victory. And that's how that victory works. Right now, we're trying to get the victory of settling this city right here next to the volcano, but not on top of the volcano. I think it still will hurt the city when it goes off, but might lose some population. But also, if you build anything near it, I think it's a bad idea. I don't know. We'll have to see. I think that there's a campus right here that's too good to... Yeah, +4 campus is kind of too good to ignore. But if you build it there, you're going to be repairing it every time it goes off. And my question is, maybe Potato McWhiskey could answer in the comments when he watches my videos. If I put a district here, do I still get the yields that continually increase on this tile? I think I do. I really do. I don't know. Or do they convert that into science? I wonder how that works. I don't know. I'm glad we got a city down here, though. It wants to build something. It's thirsty for building something. So let's have it build a monument. Help it to grow. Help it to earn us some culture. All right. 8 and 8, eh? Looks like we got to have this one before we can go on. Research the construction technology. Build a wonder. Well, we're about to build a wonder. Let's put some turns in that. It's 8 turns. Okay, we can put some turns into drama and poetry, and when it gets close to the boost, we'll switch over to games and recreation and get that done. All right, we're going to go down the coast to go and check out the Portuguese. This guy's standing on my tribal village, and it's really getting to me because this guy's getting closer. And if Portugal gets on that tribal village, guess what? I don't. And that's not going to make me fail too good. This guy's coming back to fill in the Alps there. See if there's another pass through there. I don't think there is. This guy is going to, I think, try to... No, I can't go past Venice. The only way to get out and over here is to go that way, so he's not going to go there. He's just going to look around. He's just looking around. He's going to stay up there. Okay, now this warrior is not needed anymore down here because there's no more barbs, at least not that I know of. This guy's going to just kind of fill out the Italian peninsula. Going to go down into the heel of the boot. This guy's going to go down into the toe of the boot. And then they're going to go north to harass Bologna before he gets walls. And take it for our own. Maybe keep it. I don't know. Depends on how far along it is. I don't really like where it's placed, but that can be overcome too. Here's the wheel. Sometimes the wheel turns slowly, but it turns. Okay. Nope. Excuse me, I had to drink water there. I remembered to go get some water this time. I was thirsty last time. Okay, 5 more turns for our first wonder to come out. And wait till you see this wonder is what it's going to do. It's exaggerated. It's 3 times what the base game. I just did that to juice up the game a little bit, just to make it fun. I played the other attempts I played. I didn't use it because I just thought it was too much, and it is. But then again, it's so much fun, and it'll accelerate us through the game, so you won't have to spend too many hours with me here doing this, because this game is meant to be a long, gradual climb. It's kind of has that beautiful phenomenon that's in nature, you know. You know the tree is growing in your yard, but you don't really see it day to day, but, you know, in 20 years, you notice that that tree has grown, 50 feet, you don't notice it. The clock is turning. You don't necessarily notice it unless you stare at it. Same thing with clouds. There's a phenomenon of this beautiful subtlety of gradual growth or gradual change that's so gradual you don't really notice it. Like plants actually move a lot, but they move on a scale that's so slow that we don't actually notice it. If you do some gardening, though, you notice the change in your plants because you go out and look at them every day. Your vegetables, you can see the flower there, and then the fruit comes out, and you got a big red juicy tomato. It's great, packed filled with garden flavor, nothing better. And staying close to nature like that's meant a lot to me. I can't get out in the woods by a campfire. That used to be my sacred ritual once a week. When I lived in my little hometown, I could get to the woods with a little bike ride, and I was out in the woods. But here in the city, I can't do that. But I can do a bit of gardening and a bit of old man sitting on the deck talking with my buddies about everything as if I was some kind of expert on everything and anything because I'm old, so I kind of think I'm entitled to that kind of a conceit. And I've been through a lot, so I might as well, what the heck, what do I care? Here we have a city in the south. I'm so proud. Vatican City was soaking up all those beautiful yields from Mount Vesuvius and wasting it because they had to spend it all on fixing the city up every time it went off. Now, Ostia can actually buy these tiles. See, we'll buy them. 75, nothing for us. We got all kinds of money. Now we have all of the magic tiles that are going to be influenced by Vesuvius for our very own Roman Empire. And we can go to Rome and we can even hook these 2 cities up. Now we have total control over all of this property, and we are cruising for a great victory as Rome. The Italian peninsula, the southern part of it, has finally been unified under the sacred precincts of Rome, where once crazy black magic Egyptians wove their evil spells in secrecy. Now we have 4 food, 2 production, and 1 culture so far. That's going to Ostia. Ostia, 2 food, 2 culture. Look, 4 turns for growth because it's getting all that food. And we can improve those tiles in the ages to come. And I do believe we have killed it. 1 more turn left to the ancient era. We got 34. We've been earning so much error score through all these things we've been doing. that we have attained a golden age. Da 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 da, golden age. In one more turn we'll have a golden age. And we'll have golden age things to do. Like getting great bonuses from our dedication in a golden age. Shall I continue that song? No, it's the end of the episode. Why don't you just go with your whole litany of things you want us to do? Like, I suppose you're going to say, like the video, and it spreads it around to 1 million people, and it really helps, and you want us to, like, comment and say some goofy thing about the video or whatever it is, or how weird you are, or how about, what was the other thing you wanted? You want us to share the videos if other people are going to care to listen to you ramble on about stuff instead of playing the game, taking forever to go 3 turns. I can't help it, guys. I know I said I was going to stop, but I got to do it before that other guy. 20 iron. Way to go, Tribal Village. That's great. We need iron, too, to make our unique military unit. We just got 20 iron. That's above and beyond game. Isn't that sweet? So we will take advantage of that and many other things to get an edge so we can win the game before the other civilizations can win the game in the episodes to come. Thanks a lot for coming along, and I forgot that I was supposed to tell you to subscribe to my channel. Really would love that. That's the ultimate approval, I guess. It doesn't cost you anything. I don't have any paywalls. I have a Patreon at dudejamadala.patreon.com that you can send me money, or you can send an email to James_Mandolare at yahoo.com and give me your email address and tell me you want to send me money, and I can hook you up to PayPal. Or you can just enjoy the video, watch a few minutes, go make a sandwich, do whatever you want. That's good enough for me. That shows great support. The views are enough. That shows great support. You want to hit the bell and get notifications when the next one comes out if you're kind of hooked and you want to see how this all turns out. I'm looking forward to watching them all. After you do a great game, you don't usually get to watch your progress again. And I think that might be good. I remember when I was in my first folk rock band was the Poverellos, which in Italian means poor little guy. And it's a nickname for my favorite saint of all time, St. Francis of Assisi, the original Mother Nature's child, my favorite saint. We can talk about him in further episodes because I don't want to go on too long here. But, this is really fun. And in my folk rock days, we used to use a cassette tape recorder to record our rehearsals so we could listen to them back and improve our musical skills and arrangements by listening to the rehearsal tapes. And it really did help. And I got into the habit of recording my concerts. I used to play for Fort William Henry on the street of Sing for Your Supper promotion at Lake George, New York. And I took a cassette recorder and I recorded all. I got a whole box full of cassettes of many of my live performances, and they were fun to listen to. And this will be fun to watch after the game is over. I can go back to the very beginning and go through the whole thing again, and you can too. And I'm sure that's what you're doing on my playlist, so I really thank you for that. Check out my other playlists and some of my other videos you might enjoy. And until then, hasta la vista, baby. Arrivederci. Ciao. Bella. And catch y'all later. See ya.